This is not a test. This is not a test. This is not a test. I don't know if you can hear. This is not a test. This is not a test. I don't know if you can hear me.
while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and can will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have the present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questionings if you wish. All right. You good, dude?
Good evening. Are you good, dudes? Everybody good? You good, dude? You good, dude? Y'all are showing off before I even get a chance to say hello. Happy Good Friday, everybody. Welcome in. Oh my goodness. It is 7:35. Thor, can I say hello, please? Thank you. It is 7:35 on April the 3rd, Good Friday before Easter Sunday. How the heck are you? So good to see all of you. Now I've got to scroll up here. Glitter, I can't wait either. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Glitter is in the house. Cindy from sunny South Florida is here. Angel, hi. How are you? You made it. You're out of breath, but you made it. Thank you so much. Cara is here. Hannah is here. Abellas is here. Oh, you guys. Miss Sarah, nurse your headache. Dandy, hi. How are you? Rubber says she'll be here in 10. We will be here, Abellas. We will be here. Hannah coming in with the whole freaking year. 1 year, Hannah. Remember, for 12 months. I am so appreciative. Thank you so very much for 12 solid freaking months. I really, really appreciate you. You know that I do. I got to go back up here. Oof. Hi, Cara. Sarah said, I'm repeating myself. Abellas showing off 20 True Crime Guardian memberships. And then right behind that, Cara gifted 10 True Crime Guardian memberships. I cannot. I'm at a loss for words. I am so freaking grateful for the two of you. And I really, really appreciate you in all the ways. And you know that I do. Miss Sarah got one of those. Blooming Kinder, Evie the Cat, Mandy Girl, Explore Core, Amber, FN5ZX, Rat House Media. Hey, Rat House Media. Beautiful Miss Pro Burger, Ro Solo, Eyes to See, Lisa Crow, Princess Pillow, Wendy Williams enters the chat, Carolina, Cash got a membership, S. Francisco, Sharon Touch, Samaria Graham, Susie Stitches, Kelly Olivia, oh my gosh, PK, and Tanika 2 cents. Yay, Tanika. Tina Edwards, Cat OG79, and Eek. I miss me some Eek. Just Dawn, and 15 Drogs. Sweet Misery 78, Terry Lynn Sexton 8415, and Rich Gioni. Thank you so freaking much. Thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate that so much. Where did it go? Where is my... There it is. Here we go.
It's a bird, it's a plane. Smile is me, ho. Money make a trend in this bitch dropping C notes. Oh yeah, I talk that shit like I walk that shit. Ran that mouse, run into that money, I get it back.
Bam! You got Cara and Abellas throwing C notes in the chat. Thank you very much. Dandy, did you not get one? I saw too many gray names and I wanted to pick people up on the Punch Letecia Stauch train. Punch Letecia Stauch. Throw them voodoo dolls at that hoe. Oh, Southern Cats. I missed that too. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the super chat. It was a $9.99 super chat from Southern Cats. Let me go see what that was. What was that? Oh, it's a lemon. He's so cute, Southern. Thank you so much. Thank you so freaking much. You guys are amazing. I'm never going to get to the bottom of this chat. Oh, Cara, you did it again. Cara gifted another 5 True Crime Guardian memberships. Oh my goodness. Now I got to go see if I can figure out who got those. Is it going to be too late for me to figure it out? Let me see. Let me scroll. Rango, the Tango, Coconut, Lindsay, the Sasha doll, Melissa Rossi. I keep wanting to say that in Spanish for some reason. I wish YouTube better and different color glitter. Thank you very much, Glitter. It is so nice to see you here. I know I saw Glitter say something. What was it? What was it? The hell, YouTube? Rude. Oh, we love your face. Thank you so much, Miss Sarah. You know you're amazing, and I really appreciate you. I know that I saw Glitter say, oh, there it is. Okay. I'm so glad we get to be alive at the same time. Well, I really appreciate that, Glitter. I'm really glad that you're alive and here too. It makes me very happy. And thank you for being a member for 1 month. Is anybody hungry? I am starving to death. Hannah told me to go eat before the live, but I just did not have time to do that. I just didn't. Hi, came over from Soup. She did a great job on that video. Looking forward to hearing about Letecia. Tobeans, thank you so freaking much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Stinson, I need to pull that channel up so I could say the name right because I'm not going to do it justice. Stinson has the soup. Reviewed a live that I did earlier this week. Thank you so much for that. Let me drop that link. Thank you for reminding me. Soup. Is that what you guys call her? Soup. She did a review over the live that I did, or over the premiere that I did earlier this week about Brittany Jackson and Julie Skolnick. And I really appreciated her doing that and sending people my way. And in turn, our sub count has grown exponentially over the last couple of hours. And I'm really grateful for that. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for that, Miss Stinson has the soup. And there's her link. I got to eat chicken tenders. I'm not Catholic. Oh, man. Food just sounds wonderful. Yeah, Toe Beans, we love your name. You poke my fur baby's toes all the time singing the Toe Bean song. There's a Toe Bean song? Oh my gosh, welcome all new subscribers, the members, the visitors, lurkers. Hit the thumbs up, join the chat. If you're in the vertical live, double click that live, and then you can move over to the horizontal with us. We're also streaming live on Kick, and the mods all have those links. Oh, that's too cute. Wolfpack, hi, how are you? Yeah, she does suck. She sucks real bad. Southern Cats, I'm so glad to be in your presence. I didn't know Toe Beans was a song. I didn't either. Tracy, hi. Everybody from Soups, thank you so much. I'm so humbled. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Thank you. You just ate and you're still hungry? Oh my gosh. There's Rat House Media. Hey, how are you? Hello. Gamma's here. I'm never going to get to the bottom. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did get to the bottom. So good to see you. So you all know why we're here, right? Everybody knows why we're here, what we're doing, what we're going to be doing. So right after this, Soup is great. She is the funniest. Is she? Oh, I'm really glad. I'll have to go and watch some more of her stuff because I'm just not, I just haven't. And I don't want to be rude because I just don't. Oh my gosh, you really sent me the song. Oh my gosh, I'll save that. I just haven't gotten a chance to watch a bunch of her. Florida Girl, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Hannah's got a reputation, doesn't she? I mean, it's a good one, I think. I hope. It's so good to see you guys. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about Letecia Stauch. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. Tonight we are dealing with one of the most maddening kinds of true crime developments that there is. It's not an acquittal. It's not a finding of innocence. I want to say that straight out of the gate because I don't want that to be confused with what we're looking at here. Let me move my notes over here so that I can see you guys and what you're saying in the chat just in case you say anything really cool. All which are all cool. Yeah, welcome in, Florida girl. I'm so glad that you're here. So it's not a finding of innocence. It's not a new revelation that the state had the wrong person all along. What happened here is something, it's really much colder than that. In some ways, it's really unsettling. The system said that the conviction cannot stand because the jury itself was legally compromised. Yeah, legally compromised. Let me see if I can find this girl's face to put up here because I'm just sick about this. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm just sick about this. Come on up here. Come on up here, girl. This is who we are talking about. Okay. I can't believe she got this either. My heart is also broken for Al and Landon, all of the people involved, all of the people that had to go through this. There were some of the people that sat on the jury, some people that sat out in the galley. There were some people that were involved in this trial that had to have therapy for a long time after this. You think they're going to bring back Dr. Lewis, Cara? I mean, they may bring her back to, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. This is all preliminary, so I'm not sure how this is going to go just yet. And I have a feeling that there might be more in store than what we can see on the onset, but I'm not 100% sure on that just yet. Just yet. Thank you very much, Abellis. Yeah, it's going to be bad. And a trigger warning and all that good stuff. I'm going to turn that banner off, but this content is going to fall under fair use. Basically, I'm not using anybody else's video. I'm using the attachment A or the original affidavits from the first filing in February 28th of 2020. And then I'm going to use the conviction or the structural error that they're claiming that they just put out on April 2nd of 2026. So it's going to be document heavy. Anybody who doesn't like that doesn't have to stay, but basically it's going to be document heavy, and we're going to go over some things, remember some things that happened way back when, and then talk about some things that are happening now. It falls under fair use for purposes of entertainment, criticism, commentary, research, all that. All the opinions on this channel are that, mine, and just mine. And anything you put in the chat is your opinion, and you're responsible for it. So there you go. Yeah, they knew. They knew. We're going to get into that. They knew. So will Dr. Dorothy Lewis testify again? I don't know. Is she still alive? She's still alive, right? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that like that. You heard that the prosecutors can appeal this decision, but unable to confirm that. Maybe. I think they do have something up their sleeve. So, we'll see. What happened here is basically the system says that the conviction cannot stand because the jury itself was legally compromised. Letecia Stauch's convictions were reversed because the appellate court found structural error. After the trial court denied a challenge, the trial court did deny, just so you know, the trial court did deny a challenge for cause to a juror whose son-in-law worked as a deputy district attorney in the same office prosecuting the case. Okay, so they knew. The court denied the challenge. And once the biased jury deliberated, the majority said reversal was automatic. Not because the facts disappeared, not because the case collapsed, but because the rules did. Because the rules did. If I missed something really important in chat, I'm sorry. So that's where tonight's going to get heavy, because when you go back to the arrest affidavit, what you see is the architecture of the state's case. Okay, they have blood evidence, they had shifting timelines, they had vehicle movement, they had a ton of digital activity, an alleged cleanup, they had changing stories, and they had a child at the center of it, all who never got the safety that Gannon deserved. So this case now sits in two realities at once, right? The first reality is the horror that's described in all of the evidence that happened. And the other is the legal principle that even in this horrifying case where all of that evidence exists, the court cannot keep a verdict that came through a tainted jury process. It's infuriating. Infuriating. Yeah, her face makes you so mad. I'm so sorry. You could throw voodoo dolls at it. You can't serve because Mr. Southern's best friend is Leo. Interesting. Don't forget that she also traumatized her own daughter. Oh, yeah. Harley. Yeah, absolutely. Not looking forward to having to pull Harley back in this. I'm not looking forward to that. But this is why the case is so important to talk through carefully, because people are going to hear quote unquote new trial, and some people are going to think it means that she was cleared. That is not the case. Others will hear juror issue and think it's a technicality. It's also false. This was the justice system saying we are either going to do this cleanly or we're going to do it again. I don't think she has a leg to stand on in the insanity defense. There is already a second part to this, though, that has already been won, and that's where they were trying to throw out the phone evidence again. Tried to throw out the phone evidence. We won that. That evidence is going to stay in, so there's no way they're going to get that thrown out. But we'll get to that. But she did try it. She freaking did try it. Yep. She might try. I can't believe she's getting a new trial either. Thank you. That girl's graveyard is so nice to see you. Thank you for the beautiful comments. Everybody had such good comments. I just before I say anything else, and to everybody that's here, I am so incredibly grateful for everybody that was over in Stinson, the Soups Live, who came over and gave me such a beautiful comment under that pre-record. So I really appreciate that. Hi, Mustang. So good to see you. Yeah, it's going to be the most difficult thing for her to prove. She couldn't prove it the first time. She definitely ain't going to be able to prove it the second time. And she's acted a fool between the time this first thing happened and now. I mean, she's acted a fool behind bars. She's doing so well in life and now having to, yeah, I agree. Marlena, nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming over. I really appreciate you. Hey, everyone coming in. Welcome all the new subs and all of the new visitors and lurkers. And thank you very much for being here. So, all right. I'm going to pull this up on the screen so we can get rid of her ugly mug. And like I said, this is going to be document heavy. And anybody who's not into that, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But this is going to be document heavy tonight, and we're going to talk about things that are disturbing. Make sure you are, let me take that down also. Make sure you are aware of your own mental health and where that stands for you and all that good stuff. How do I pull that? There it is. Let's hide that. There we go. All right. If I miss anything in the chat, let me know. Is Chasing here too? Did I miss it? Oh, yeah, Chasing. Nice to meet you. Thank you so very much. I know. I got a whole bunch of new subs, and I really, really appreciate that, Chasing. I really do. I've watched your lives a couple of times, just kind of sitting in the grass, listen to the music from out in the parking lot. It was really good. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I know. I'd rather look at Gannon too. Nice to quote unquote meet you. Hi, Wolfie. Nice to see you. Welcome in, guys. All right. I want to talk to everybody. We'll have to do that. So my birthday stream is going to be tomorrow night. We're just going to hang out. It's just going to be chill. Just going to be a get to know each other, hang out, do whatever the fuck we want, and listen to music and just kind of chill for that. So This family will have to go through all of this again. Yeah, it's incredibly disheartening. Incredibly disheartening. So before we even get to Letecia, before we get to all of the theories and the psychology and the lies, the juror issue or the retrial, I want to start where the case should always start, and that should be with Gannon. Because the legal story is already loud enough. And when the legal story gets loud, a lot of times the victims are engulfed and they get pushed to the edge. And I don't want to do that here. I don't want to do that here. Glitter, I'm hoping around 7:30-ish. C. Taylor, nice to see you. Welcome in. A fellow wolf. So I don't want to do that here. I just want to make sure that we keep Gannon at the forefront and that we remember that the reason that we're doing this is for Gannon and for Gannon's family and the justice that goes along with that. Because we thought we got justice, right? We thought we did. Thank you so much, Cindy. I really appreciate that. Lots of familiar names. I know. I see that. Teresa's birthday's today? I didn't see her. Teresa, if you're here, happy birthday to you. If not, she'll probably watch on the replay, and that will be amazing. So, I'm not going to sing to you, right? I won't sing to you. I won't break the internet.
Happy birthday, whoop-dee-doo, whoop-dee-doo. May your day be pleasant, open up your present, just for you, just for you.
Happy birthday, Teresa. Amen. I can't say you're wrong there. I still believe that. All right. So this is the state's original document, and the affidavit was filed on February the 28th of 2020 in El Paso County, and that's in Colorado. And it lays out the probable cause basis for all of the charges, including murder, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with a deceased body, and tampering with physical evidence. The affidavit is not just listing evidence, it builds the whole behavioral timeline and the behavioral theme all the way through the chaos that is Letecia Stauch. This is the managed chaos, though. The managed chaos, because it's in the document. You're going to sing to me tomorrow, Miss Sarah? I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going to throw out the link, and you guys can all come up, and we can just hang out. I'm super excited. So the victim in this case is Gannon Stauch. He was born on September the 29th of 2008. 2008 is still a baby. Still a baby. The charges, murder in the first degree for a child under 12 from a position of a person with a position of trust. Child abuse resulting in death, tampering with a deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence. The reason that we're going over this is because I know that there's a majority of everybody knows about Letecia Stauch. If you're here, you already know who she is, and there have been many, many creators that have been over in detail. I want a refresher to be in this live because I want to remember where we're coming from and where we're going. Because at the end of everything, we all know that we thought we got justice. And I think that's the biggest issue for me. I think this is big. Indy, you're distracting me. I think this is the biggest issue for me. Letecia can get 5 trials. She's still guilty in everyone. I believe that. I agree with that completely. Yeah, I don't know where is Teresa. She'll probably be in a little bit later. It's a little early. She can't keep from rolling her eyes. Hey, Indy, nice to see you. Not nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Okay, this affidavit is being submitted to support the issuance for an arrest warrant for the violations. The facts in this affidavit come from their personal observations, and that observation came from Jessica Bethel. We know who that is. Well, most of us know who that is. She's a certified state police officer and detective with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. There we go. Let's go down here. Okay. So they talked about the Stauch family and the general information behind the Stauch family, the blended family, and why it's important. Further down in the affidavit, the father, Eugene Al Stauch, which is Gannon's father, the stepmother, Letecia Stauch, daughter, Harley, the son, Gannon, daughter, Lena. Oh, Lena, who's going to have to go through this again. The vehicles were the red Nissan Frontier, black Volkswagen Tiguan, and the white Volkswagen Jetta, silver Nissan Altima. Okay, this is the background right here, and that's where we're going to start. Letecia Harden. I don't know why she still has the Stauch name. I think they should have given it back to Al and let it be done. Is he still remarried now? Is he still remarried now? Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that. The pregnant belly lady full of cash. There's so many freaking stories, so many shifting stories. Hey, Orange Rose, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nightbot reminds you guys you can find me on all the platforms, but mostly here on YouTube. I sure thought we had justice for him. This is so upsetting. I know it's due process and all. It just feels so wrong. You're not wrong in that. You're not wrong in that. It does feel wrong. At the end of the day, maybe we can get it right a second time. I don't know. Hey, Jude. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. I saw a brief note that she changed her name. Did she? Did she? Because on this paperwork, it's still Stauch. So that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that she hasn't or tried to change her name back. But, you know, with her and all her personalities, it's really hard for us to know. Oh, Stinson has the soup. Yeah, let me pull that up so I can drop that link again. Chasing True Crime and Stinson has the soup. I guess noticed the premiere that I put out the other day for Brittany J and Julie Skolnick, and they were so nice to go over it and send a lot of the new people here. So let me drop that link. And mods, will you guys do me a favor? If you can find Chasing's link, will you drop that as well, please? Thank you so much. So yeah, if you want to, and you get a chance, Wolfie, follow that link to that live right there, and it talks about the stuff going on in the true crime creators or the sector of trauma and drama creators that are going through some growing pains right now. Thank you so much, Wolfie. Andy, thank you so much for being a member for 3 months. I really, really appreciate you. You're always here, and I really appreciate that. I know that it's not easy to be here all the time. That being said, not easy to be here all the time as in time-wise, not because I'm not easy to follow, because I hope that's not the truth. Andy, thank you so much for the $1.99. I really appreciate that. What was it? It's just $1.99. I really appreciate that. Sometimes they have like dancing lemons and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I really appreciate that, and you know what that means.
It's a bird, it's a plane. Smile, it's me, ho. Money make a trend in this bitch dropping C notes. Oh yeah, I talk that shit like I walk that shit. Ran that mouse, running to that money. I get it.
Thank you, Andy, for dropping the C notes in the chat. Thank you very much for the $1.99. I appreciate you. Okay, back to it then. Okay. Letecia Stauch, also known as Letecia Harden, date of birth 8/4/1983, last person known to investigators to see 11-year-old Gannon Stauch. Letecia is Gannon's stepmother and was Gannon's only known adult supervision in the days preceding and on the day of his murder. Oh, I don't even like saying her name. Let me go back over here. There we go. So like we said, we're not just listing evidence here. It's just the behavioral timeline of how she acts. We walk through the affidavit. Basically, January 27th, the disappearance report came out. Hey, Scratch. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Thank you very much, Cindy. Oh my gosh, gardening. Yeah. Okay, don't describe. The subsequent 40-hour period after that, then the law enforcement saying she refused to cooperate fully. She gave conflicting statements. She was continuously communicating with family by text and Facebook. And then her later change in her story, including the sexual assault by the carpet repairman narrative. Uh, all of that is here in this appellate opinion. I almost forgot, and which is why I want to go through some of this. I almost forgot some of the narratives that she spins. This because there was so many. At the time of Gannon's murder, Letecia was employed by School District 20 as an assistant teacher, although I have also learned that she is no longer employed there. Oh, Teresa is here. Hi, Teresa. I missed your chat somewhere. Hey, Jude, thank you so much. Thank you very freaking much. I almost missed that too. I better get better at looking through stuff here. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. I really, really appreciate you.
It's a bird, it's a plane. Smile is me, ho. Money make a trend in this bitch dropping C notes. Oh yeah, I talk that shit like I walk that shit. Ran that mouse, running to that money.
Yay, Teresa, welcome in. Okay. No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to sing happy birthday, but that would be a mistake. So I'll tell you again, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, whoop-dee-doo, whoop-dee-doo. May your day be pleasant, open up your present, just for you, just for you.
Happy birthday to you, sweet pea. So glad you're here today and spending your birthday with us when you could be anywhere else in the world. So now we have Christmas in April.
Ho, ho, ho! Time for some Christmas magic. Here's a little present for you.
All right. Is there anybody here that does not know this case? Thank you, Toe Beans. I really appreciate you. Is there anybody here? I didn't even think about it. Is there anybody here that does not know this case? If you don't, just know that you're in for like rude awakening, because this is not a nice lady. So just like I said, mind your own mental peace there. Just know that this is not a nice lady. Cindy does not know this case? You don't know this case. Okay. I'll keep that in mind, Cindy. Okay. Hi, Elizabeth. You don't know this case either? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we're going over it then. You followed it from day one. How she left that child will be something I remember for life. Yeah. Well, technicalities. Yeah, brace yourself. All right, Elizabeth. Well, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, she did that too. And a lot of us wish we didn't, but now that we do. Okay, well, I will do my due diligence and continue to go through this. And that way I'm not glazing over something. It is a nasty case. So, all right, let's get to it then, because it's going to take us a while to get through this. I was able to locate a prior criminal history for Letecia and learned that in North Carolina, Robeson County Court case, Letecia was convicted after a trial for communicating threats, a misdemeanor, but I was not able to locate her sentencing information. Letecia was also convicted of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle in Robeson County Court in another case, and was sentenced to 45 days confinement and 18 months of probation. Hey, Abraham, welcome in. Hey, another one to say. Your name, I swear, they're never going to change it back. So good to see you. Thank you very much. Yeah. 18 whole years old. Sweet boy. Still so young. Although not criminal in nature, I was able to locate a document memorializing the suspension of Letecia's North Carolina teaching certificate on or about May 11th, 2016. As part of that document, it is reported that Letecia had filed unsubstantiated claims of harassment and retaliation, and the North Carolina State Board found, quote, that Ms. Stauch breached her contract by engaging in unprofessional conduct, willfully neglecting her duty, and failing to comply with the provisions of her contract. Unquote. You searched for the sentencing info as well and couldn't find it. There might have been a settlement agreement between the school board and her. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Nugget, do not poke at the computer. Got too much going on here. Letecia's criminal history is only included by way of background for the court, and because Letecia has been convicted of previous crimes, it is not meant to indicate guilt of the violations or to be considered as the sole basis of probable cause for the requested warrant of which they got. There we go. Albert, or who we know as Al for the most part, is Gannon's biological father and is married to, or was previously at the time, this is February 28th of 2020, okay, was married to Letecia Stauch. Mr. Stauch was deployed with the National Guard during the dates of January 25th, 2020 to January 28th, 2020. Mr. Stauch spent the night in Denver on January 25th, 2020 and departed via commercial airline on January 26th, returning via commercial airline on January 28th. Investigators were able to corroborate this information, and Mr. Stauch has cooperated fully in the below investigation. Thank you very much, Cara. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the medical examiner's testimony is very, very difficult to hear. So this is the next part right here. It says summary of a multi-agency missing person investigation in Colorado. This is that next 40 hours that we were talking about, or the subsequent 40 hours after the disappearance of Gannon on January 27th. And that's when they made the report. Of note, and in some portions of this affidavit, depending on the date of events being discussed, the investigation may be referred to as a missing person investigation or a murder investigation. Yeah, I know her, and I know Melissa Jade has gone over this extensively, and Recovery Addict has gone over it extensively. There's so many people that have so much more information and so much more in-depth coverage than I do. I'm still relatively small, still relatively new, so this is just my take on an older case that has an overturned conviction that we definitely will be following from here on out. But in order for me to do it justice, I feel like we need to go back to the beginning where Gannon was missing and go over that, because if I don't, I feel like I might miss something on the upcoming trial, if that makes sense. I did follow it from the beginning, but I was not a creator then. I didn't have a channel then. For the use purposes of this affidavit, they are indeed one and the same. So it was both a missing person investigation turned murder investigation later. The subsequent information primarily surrounds the periods of Monday, January 27th, 2020 to Wednesday, January 29th, 2020. Investigators have been taking independent steps to corroborate information received through the investigation, and in most circumstances, they have video footage, cellular communications, location records, security system records, or other records to support the below claims. This summary section is only meant to give the court an overview of the investigation and the facts that support the summary. Do they, Dandy? They have a terrible record for overturned cases. And we didn't talk about it yet, but she will not be getting out while she's waiting on a new trial. I know it was asked, and definitely she will not be. They don't allow for that. Okay. On January 27th, 2020, at or about 1855, Letecia Stauch reported Gannon missing. After calling 911 during that call, she was instructed to call the El Paso County non-emergent line. In summary, Letecia stated Gannon was supposed to be home approximately 1 hour ago and that she was unable to locate him at his friend's house. Her story dramatically changed multiple times over the following days. I know there's footage out there, and a lot of you that know the case have seen that. As will be discussed below, investigators do not believe Letecia went to any neighboring houses to attempt to locate Gannon and was one of many lies told by Letecia during the investigation. Letecia was unable to provide the actual location of the home she went to, the names of Gannon's friends he was supposed to be playing with, or the name of the parents of Gannon's friends. Deputies responded to Letecia's residence in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and were able to locate Gannon. Deputies conducted a limited search of the residence. That footage is also out and available, and took a report from Letecia. Some of the interactions between the responding deputies and Letecia were captured on body-worn camera. A missing person investigation was initiated and in the coming days developed into a murder investigation. We did watch that body cam footage at one point in time on another channel that I frequent, and it was said that during that body cam, you can actually see the area under the boxes where that suitcase that he was ultimately placed in was at during their initial search. I thought that was damning. It makes me sick to my stomach to think about that little boy being right there in front of them. Of course, already deceased, but they were so close, Abellis. They were so close. It makes me sad. A tip line was established and investigators received hundreds of tips and leads from the public by virtue of email and telephone calls. As part of the tip line, 2 ransom notes were received by email demanding money in the form of Bitcoin. Most recently, that's happened in a case that we have been following out of Tucson with Nancy Guthrie, right? Haven't they done a couple of ransom notes where people are demanding payment in the form of Bitcoin or crypto in exchange for Nancy Guthrie's return? Investigators took steps to validate these ransom notes, including resolving and geolocating the IP addresses from the email headers and requesting subscriber information from the ISP that hosted those IP addresses. One of those ransom notes was sent from a foreign-based email account that is accessible by multiple individuals. Investigators were unable to trace the user of the IP address and believe the ransom note to be fraudulent and strictly designed as a scheme to receive money. Yes. What was the hype in Gannon's life? Like Sonic or Pokemon? People made signs of it. Interesting. Letecia initially claimed that she last saw Gannon on January 27, 2020, when he left their residence to play with his friends somewhere around 15:15, which is 3:15. I think she said he was supposed to be home by 6. Based on the facts outlined below in Letecia's statement to an EPSO dispatcher, Letecia is the last person who ever saw Gannon alive. Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, the Bitcoin ransom request. And this is back in 2020. Letecia stated that she attempted to find him at a neighbor's house and sent her daughter Harley Hunt, who was born in 2002, to look for Gannon at a park. Letecia lied to investigators on multiple occasions, has unexplained abnormal behavior such as obtaining a rental car, disconnecting her cell phone from the cellular network for an extended period of time, the false reporting and alleged rape, abnormal patterns of travel, a continuously evolving story with material changes in facts and circumstances, and has since left the state of Colorado. These actions, when combined with other facts in this affidavit, support the totality of probable cause for the requested warrant and will be discussed below. Hedgehogs and blue hearts for Gannon. Yeah. Hey, Witchy, welcome in. Nice to see you. So we've got to pay close attention here because in a lot of cases, the inconsistencies that come from her come from the stress of the situation. But the state's theory here is not stress for her. It's I want to say repeated reauthoring, but they're just lies. Like she changes her story over and over and over again, so many times that they have to. Well, we'll get to that. She just changes her story a lot of times, and the story doesn't just drift. It like mutates from one thing to another, from one. Yeah, she mutates. I'm sure you know what the word mutate means. So she just mutates. All of the facts change. It doesn't just drift. She doesn't forget what she said before, but then she just kind of adds to things, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Okay, the following section. Okay, this is over the murder of Gannon. The following section outlines what investigators have learned about Letecia's activity on January 27, 2020, and outlined the period when Gannon was likely murdered. Some of the information contained in this section will be repeated in other portions of the affidavit or discussed later in greater detail. Additionally, there are evidence sources that are mentioned here but not fully defined in other sections. Investigators believe that Gannon was murdered by Letecia Stauch in the afternoon hours, approximately 14 hours. So 12 o'clock, 13:14, so 2:14 p.m. on January 27th, 2020, at his residence, and more specifically in his bedroom. Physical evidence recovered from the residence and inside Gannon's bedroom support that a violent event occurred in his bedroom, which caused bloodshed, including blood spatter on the walls, and enough blood loss to stain his mattress, soak through the carpet pad, and stain the concrete below his bed. Based on evidence recovered from the residence, Gannon's remains were eventually brought through the house into the garage and likely loaded into the back of Letecia's Volkswagen Tiguan. After cleaning the murder scene, Letecia utilized the Tiguan to transport and dump Gannon's remains on the evening of January 28, 2020. Letecia likely disposed of his remains off Highway 105, South Perry Park Road in Douglas County, Colorado. Indeed, the Metro Crime Laboratory determined that blood discovered in Gannon's bedroom, the Stauch's garage, and blood on a piece of particle board located off of Highway 105, South Perry Park Road, all matched Gannon's DNA profile. Yeah, there's so much. There's lots that you forget. Yeah. Hi, Rubber Dub. I got 2 rubbers. And Cash is here too. Hi. Welcome in, everybody. I'm sorry if I miss you coming in. Not trying to be rude. We'll never get through all of this. Never get through all of this if we don't concentrate. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate all the new subs today. I try not to. I can't imagine. I'm hoping that it was over quickly for him and he did not suffer. He did not feel these things. But I know better. Yes, the case will give you lots and lots of anxiety. Yeah, you won't remember everything. Even going back over it, the people who've gone over this case many, many times still come up with new things every time you read something. Yeah, Wolfpack, me too. On Monday, January 27th, 2020, Gannon Stauch stayed home from school. Based on text messages from Letecia to Mr. Stauch, Gannon was up most of Sunday evening with a stomach problem. Letecia did tell Gannon's school, Grand Mountain Elementary, that Gannon would be absent on Monday. Investigators were able to verify that Gannon was marked as an excused absence that day. Letecia also told Al that, quote, "I'm just going to give them an excuse at work and stay with him," unquote, end quote, whatever. Indeed, Letecia did come up with an excuse and told her employer via text message at or about 4:37 in the freaking morning, now I remember this, that her stepdad was killed after being hit by a car and she would not be able to come to work that day. Why didn't she just say that the kid's stomach hurt? Like, why did she have to go all out? And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, saying that out loud, she was out of excuse days to make, right? Because she had missed enough school. Yeah. Other electronic evidence, such as time and date stamped photographs and videos, were recovered from Letecia's cellular telephone that indicate Gannon was likely still alive during the morning of January 27th, 2020. Right, the story was true, but it didn't happen on that date. Understood. This is one of those cases that has left me questioning a lot, because normally we get an idea for the reason behind the crime, but with this we don't. Yeah. I wouldn't even try to figure out this Sal. She wasn't worth it then. She ain't worth it now. Hi, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. She was rude. She was so rude. I remember that part. Oh my gosh, we're going to have to relive all of this again, guys. As displayed in paragraph 54 below, images were taken on Letecia's cell phone at or about 8:13 in the morning to 8:17 in the morning on January 27, 2020, showing Gannon sleeping in his bed. Of particular note, his Nintendo Switch, a small video game console, is visible in the photo laying next to him on the bed. Mr. Stauch has said that his gaming system was of high importance to Gannon. To date, investigators have been unable to locate the Nintendo Switch. It should also be noted that Letecia used her phone the following day, January 28, 2020, at or about 12:57 to conduct a Google search. Can Nintendo find my Switch? This is also detailed in a list of some of her search history in paragraph 141, and reasonably occurred because she was contemplating how she would dispose of the Switch. Pregnant belly cash lady, and Juan's burglary is all the lies I need. Yeah. Will you come out of your trial hibernation for this one, Dandy? Oh, I hope so. That's the plan. That is the plan. You'll have to play the clip when she falls and rolls from Melissa Jade. I think it's hilarious. Oh, yeah, that's her. I did see that. I just saw that earlier. I just saw that earlier. Is it Stop, Drop, and Roll? Is that what it's called? Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I conducted a Google search for the term "Can Nintendo find my Switch?" and learned that the Switch does not come with any sort of tracking ability. As such, Letecia likely felt it was safe to dispose of the Switch and use the missing Switch to help deceive law enforcement into searching for Gannon as a possible runaway. Ultimately, investigators located video surveillance from a neighbor's surveillance camera that showed what investigators believed to be Letecia and an individual that appeared to match Gannon's physical description depart their residence in the Nissan Frontier at or about 10:16 hours on January 27th, 2020. Before I read on, I do remember this video, and the way it looked from the neighbor's surveillance camera, it did look like he was a bit sluggish or maybe drugged. Do you guys remember that video? Oh my God. What a coward. The video camera is several homes away and does not provide images clear enough to make positive identifications of those captured in the recording. Well, what other little boy would she have been with, right? The vehicle returned at or about 14:19, so at about 2:19. So 10:16 in the morning they left and returned around 2:19, and Letecia exited the vehicle. After viewing the video, I cannot be sure if another person exited the vehicle or not, but I submit Gannon likely did return home with Letecia that afternoon. These times, corroborated by data collected from an ADT security system installed in the Stauch's residence, are discussed below in more detail. You guys remember that? Hi, Southern. Oh yeah, you're still here. I'd watch Gannon's case be fought and won again for him. Oh, Dandy. Dandy, were you not watching trials anymore? Did you decide to stop watching trials? Based on data returned from the Stauch's ADT security system, the motion detectors in the living room or basement did not register any activity from approximately 10:12 until Letecia and Gannon entered the home at approximately 2:22. I'm so glad you're here too, Elizabeth. Thank you. Investigators confirmed Lena to be at school and confirmed that Harley was at work. As such, investigators believe there was likely nobody else in the residence except Letecia and Gannon. Excuse my language, but that's a fucking terrifying thought. That's a terrifying thought. Letecia's historical cell site information, detailed information about her iPhone status, and a text message sent to Harley from Gannon's cell phone support that Letecia left her cell phone at the Stauch's residence the morning of January 27, 2020. The fact Letecia left her phone at home is suspicious on its own, based on her history of extensive use of the cell phone. Yeah, she would have never left that shit at home. I cuss a lot too. I try to be good about it, but I do. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. This case didn't come out in court, but there's footage from the neighbor's camera and where you can kind of hear a voice scream with the very... Are you serious? Yeah, that definitely didn't come out in court because I don't remember that. My God. Oh, my God. You enjoy cussing? Yeah, it's the closest thing I get next to the fact that I've quit drinking and smoking many years ago. So, yeah, I'm with you. Orange, it is a great community. It is a great community. And with so many new subs today, I have a lot of people to learn. I'm excited about that. Letecia's, I have reviewed forensic search records from Letecia's phone and found she is an active user of social media, including but not limited to Facebook and Instagram. A more detailed review of Letecia's iPhone screen time log between January 25th at 8 o'clock and January 29th at 11 o'clock revealed that Letecia spent approximately 38,607 seconds on Facebook and Facebook Messenger alone, which equates to approximately 10.7 hours of cumulative time over those few days. Hey, son, would you possibly get me a glass of ice water, please? Thank you. Letecia's telephone was locked at or about 9:56 in the morning on January 27th of 2020 and unlocked at 14:45, which is 2:45 p.m. on the same day. The timing of the unlocking of this device is significant as compared to her departure and arrival to and from the residence and should be noted by the court. Particularly, Letecia did not open her phone for approximately 30 minutes after she arrived back at the residence. Ooh, don't get me started on shit business. Thank you so much, son. The one thing I take from this is she'll be incarcerated until her next trial. Yeah, they're not going to let her out for that. I'm glad to hear that, Elizabeth. I'm glad you got some good news. He was a small child. He didn't stand a chance against her. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And from, just her stature, I wouldn't say she's like the toughest cookie on the block, but she was tough. Just looking at her, the different things that we've seen and the different ways that she's tried to manipulate the situations around her. Yeah, she will stay. Now, she may be moved from prison to jail. She may go to a jail to await the trial, depending on where they have it. I think she's already back in Colorado now, is she not? You'll have to let me know. But she's been moved all around. I think she's already back in. I think she's been back in Colorado. She's more than a flight risk. Yeah, she's more than a flight risk. Now, I don't know who the heck would fund her after all this time, though. But the evidence that they still have the same evidence against her. That hasn't changed. situated again. I had to get me some water. All right. On January 27, 2020, there was a message sent from Gannon's phone to Harley's phone that read, Letecia left phone at home. If you need her, text me. Does that sound like something an 8-year-old sends? This message was sent at or about 10:37. Investigators were able to confirm, based on video surveillance footage and purchase receipts, that Letecia traveled to Petco, located on Nevada Avenue in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This Petco is approximately 22 miles from the residence and is an approximate 30-minute drive based on Google Map directions. The receipt shows that Letecia completed her purchase at or about 11:22. Gannon is not visible on any of the surveillance video obtained at Petco. They kicked her out of Kansas and moved her back to Colorado? Yeah, that's my understanding as well. Letecia's whereabouts are unknown between approximately 11:22 and 1:22 p.m. At 3:22, Letecia was again captured on video surveillance, making a second purchase at the same Petco. 13:22. That's 1:22. I'm sorry. 11:22 and 13:22. 11. So they were unknown between 11:22 in the morning and 13:22. 1:22 p.m. At 1:22 p.m., Letecia was again captured on video surveillance, making a second purchase at the same Petco on North Nevada Avenue. Mr. Stauch sent a text message to Gannon's cell phone at or about 12:06 that read, "Hey, buddy." This message was unanswered until 13:21. So at 1:21, the response was, "Can I play Zelda at least?" Mr. Stauch replied, "Not today." Why did I not remember that she went twice to the Petco? A significant event occurred on Gannon's phone at or about 13:43. It's 1:43 p.m., which is prior to arriving back at the Stauch residence. There was an internet search for, "Can my parent find my cell phone if it is off?" I submit that this internet search was likely conducted by Letecia on Gannon's phone and not Gannon himself, based upon the content of the search, the way the search terms are phrased, and the presence of a quote between the phone and "if." That's very similar to the way Letecia conducted searches on her phone. Oh, this bitch. However, I located other internet searches with quotation or periods. It's not quotations, it's a period. I do that too. I fat finger everything and put a period in between. Most people who text with me know that. So I can understand that, what he's saying there. In Gannon's search history, which I also reasonably believed were conducted by Letecia, a more detailed explanation of Letecia's search history is included below in paragraph 141. All right, so we're going through pages. Now we're starting on page 6. So pages 6 through 18 of the affidavit are where the case stops sounding like a bunch of rumors and starts sounding like a reconstruction of the violence that happened to Gannon. Investigators describe a lot of the blood evidence in Gannon's room, the blood on the wall and the floor, the suspected transfer patterns, the way that the Blue Star reactions were in multiple areas of the house, the suspected cleanup, and the blood and the DNA findings that tied back to Gannon in key locations, which is the particle board that we've talked about a little bit. And this is the section where the case is less about, a narrative and more about the environment he's around. Or, yeah, the candle and all that kind of stuff will back, yeah. The quote-unquote fire. I don't know if it says what she bought. I don't know if that's in here or not. Oh, my headphones just went off on me. There we go. Yeah, I fat finger text all the time. Yeah, the candle and then the burn video. Oh, gosh. Yeah, my heart breaks for his father, too. And of course, I'm not going to diagnose her from a PDF because I don't have that type of expertise. It would be fake expertise, right? But I'm pretty comfortable in saying the state's evidence as laid out here paints a picture of somebody who's trying to control not just what happened, but what can still be known about what happened. It's, you know what I mean? She's in a panic, and panic is messy. So, and that's the way I see her. Okay. The search term was parent singular. I submit it as reasonable that Mr. Stauch only, not Letecia, would be interested in the location of Gannon's phone, and that Letecia was possibly deliberating on how or if she would dispose of Gannon's phone after she murdered him. All of that in this part of the affidavit is mentioned by the affiant to show premeditation. That's what this is for. That's why they go through everything that she did before, the little parts on why did she go through his phone, what type of, why would she want to throw away the switch? Why would she want to throw away the cell phone that belonged to Gannon? Why would she call in at 4:30 in the morning and go ahead and report that they weren't going to be at school and somebody was killed in an accident and, Gannon has a stomach issue? Like, it's all a matter of all of it leading up to what she ultimately decided before what she was going to do. It wasn't a matter of this happened right then and there. All of this stuff is a premeditated manner of getting to where she wanted to be so that she had this child alone long enough to kill him. I conducted the Google search of can my parent find my cell phone if it's off, and learned that the first answer returned in the search engine reads, the answer to your question depends on what method is being used to track your location. Gannon's phone was found at the residence. I submit that Letecia did not get rid of Gannon's phone for fear it might be traceable. The Nissan Frontier returned to the Stauch residence on or about 14:20 hours. So that's 2:20 p.m. A search warrant authorized by this court was executed on the Nissan Frontier and found no indications of blood inside of the vehicle. Okay, Abellis, take your time. We're here. Letecia has been without her cell phone for hours, yet her screen was not unlocked until approximately 2:45 p.m., which was about 25 minutes after arriving back at the residence. During that 25-minute period, there's a motion activity both upstairs and downstairs on the ADT records. At or about, Lena returned home from school around 15:15, so it's 12:13, was at 3:15 p.m. During a recorded forensic interview with investigators, Lena stated that when she returned home, Letecia told her Gannon was asleep in her bed and that she could not see him. Letecia told Lena to go outside and play. I submit that Lena was sent outside because Gannon was likely dead, and Letecia was cleaning up blood from inside the house. At or about 3:55 p.m., Mr. Stauch sent another message to Gannon's phone. Hey, buddy. This message was not read until 1940. It's likely that Gannon was already murdered by Letecia at the time Mr. Stauch sent the message. Based on exterior video footage, Harley arrived at the residence in her white Volkswagen Jetta at or about 16:42 and picked up Lena. At or about 16:52 on January 27, 2020, Letecia sent a text message to Harley requesting carpet cleaner, trash bags, and baking soda. These items were likely used to clean up the murder scene. Harley purchased these items, and investigators located a receipt documenting the purchase. Harley Hunt has refused to speak with investigators. Investigators do not believe that Harley was present when Gannon was killed. Harley was at work on January 27th from 8:30 to 16:15, and investigators were able to verify this with her employer. To be clear, investigators have not located any evidence that any person other than Lena and Letecia had access to Gannon between approximately 10 and 17:34 on January 27, 2020. You guys still with me? Am I putting you to sleep? Are you here? She's going to get sent right back to her hole like the rat she is. A new trial ain't changing shit. I agree, Dandy. I'll never understand how people can be this cruel. Nope, you're good. You're awake listening. You're still here? Oh, my medication is putting me to sleep. Oh, love your face, Cara. You guys are good. I'm just checking. You know, document-based lives are hard to get through sometimes. People are like, I want to be here, but I'm still falling asleep. I'm going to look for that clip real quick, Lover. I saw that. So I literally just saw this earlier where she was stop, drop, and rolling. Stop, drop, and rolling in Melissa Jade's Melissa Jade's chat. If I run into it, I'll definitely play it for you guys because I think it's hilarious. It's probably way back. And this girl right here, Melissa Jade, she has a lot of information on Letecia. Like, she covered her so extensively, I couldn't even begin to touch the coverage that Melissa went through over the time that she's been able to cover. Okay, Teresa, that she's been able to cover Letecia Stauch. Melissa Jade. Put that here. There you go. Cara, good night. Sweet Pea, we'll see you soon. There's always a replay. I really appreciate you guys. You doing okay over there, Cindy? C. Taylor, thank you. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a long couple of lives. We're going to do this, and I'm going to do a pre-record tonight over the infamous Lori Daybell and her toothpaste incident. If you haven't heard about it, look for that. Make sure the notifications are on and you guys are ready for that. I'm going to go kind of through. I've had it all planned out. I can't wait. I'm excited about it. Actually. See if I can show you I don't know what I did with my thumbnail. I may have already put it up. May have put it up and not put it out. Anyway, it was hilarious. I think I did put it on Discord somewhere. Her full-size magical toothpaste. It's going to be a freaking riot. There's demonic women everywhere. Lori, she's got Daybell toothpaste. It's Daybell paste. It's going to be amazing. That one's going to be amazing. Yeah, I'm hoping to either get to it tonight after I get off of the live, or I'll get to it first thing in the morning. But I'm definitely going to have that out tomorrow before the live. I'm ecstatic about that. Let me see if I can find it. I already made a thumbnail for it. Oh, yeah, here it is. Let me show you. Boop. Let me stop this screen. That's her miracle toothpaste. It's contraband, called Daybell paste. And look at her smiling, using red M&Ms for lipstick. Sound like SPM over there. She ain't nothing but a mess. It's going to be great. I can't wait. She's such a shit. All right. back to it then. This is going to be funny. You pulled so many weeds today that your fingers can pop the top of pain relief. Oh, you can't pop the top of your pain reliever. Somebody go help Dandy open their biofreeze. Poor Dandy. Do you think if we passed and enacted eye for an eye justice, these types of offenses would stop? I think a lot of the offenses of certain types would slow down but not stop. People think they can get away with things. Sometimes when things are right in front of your face and you still don't believe it, the problem is bigger than just is the justice system flawed. Right? Some of this stuff has to do with mental health. Some of it has to do with genetics. Some of it has to do with ignorance over stupidity. So in my opinion, that'd be hard. I think it might, quash some of it, but not all of it. So these next ones right here are statements and images captured on the body cam on January 27th. That's what they're talking about. Let's see down here. Make sure I'm going over my notes so I don't forget what we're doing here. The affidavit describes the Nissan Frontier, the T1, the Kia Rio, the movement time of those vehicles. Okay, so we're not quite. Oh, yeah, actually, we are there yet. The cleaning materials, and then they later focus on Douglas County and the Perry Park Road. Also ties in the location data, the surveillance, and then the later discovery activity out of the vehicles. So the state's evidence is reading like she's using all of these different vehicles, these mobility methods to conceal. It's all for concealment. It's not just where did she go, it's what did this movement accomplish. Not how did she get there, but why did she move in the direction that she moved. Tracy, thank you so much for being here. It's okay that you can't chat. I'm just glad you're here listening. I really appreciate you. Well, what do you think, Wolfpack? What is your opinion on that? Yeah, be safe at work, Tracy. Sometimes the problem is us. Yeah, sometimes the problem is us. Sometimes we want answers. So, the problem for anyone trying to out-narrate, like Letecia, to out-narrate law enforcement is that your cars and your phones and the cameras are terrible co-conspirators and they keep receipts. And that's the biggest thing that you see in this affidavit is that as much as we know she went somewhere, we want to know what those movements accomplished, and her co-conspirators, the cars, the phones, and the cameras, are all telling on her. They're all telling on her. Your affiant has reviewed body-worn camera footage and reports obtained from a deputy that responded to the residence of the Stauch family. After responding, Letecia provided verbal consent for deputies to search the house for Gannon. By the way of timeline, EPSO patrol responded at or about 22:09, approximately 3 hours after Letecia initially called 911. From the body-worn camera, I learned the Volkswagen T1, known to be leased and utilized by Letecia, was backed into the garage when EPSO was at the residence. The position of the T1 in the garage is significant, specifically because of the confirmed presence of Gannon's blood in the garage below the area where the rear hatch of the T1 would be, and the positive reaction of Blue Star Regent, indicating likely presence of blood on the T1's rear bumper. Responding deputies also searched in Gannon's basement bedroom, and I have viewed images of Gannon's bedroom taken from the body-worn camera. Below, I have also included a body-worn camera image of Gannon's bedroom on the left. On the right, an image recovered from Letecia's cell phone after executing a search warrant that was applied for and granted by this court. Those images both represent the conditions of Gannon's bedroom on January 27th at or about 8:13 and just after 2200. This photo comparison is significant for many reasons. Now you're not going to be able to see the a Volkswagen, not a T1. Listen here, Dandy. Listen here. The guy who did the timeline at trial did a good job, in my opinion. Back, who left? Somebody left? Oh, Cara, she was sleepy. I hope Kevin Clark is back with us for the timeline. That must be who Witchy's talking about. Volkswagen, not a T1. This photo comparison is significant for many reasons, and the corner of the bedroom where Gannon's head is visible is the key area discussed in several sections below. See right image below, taken at 8:13 hours. You really can't see too much in this picture, and I'm grateful for it. Okay. For the purposes, I'm sorry. Let me do that again. The placement of Gannon's bed is in the immediate location where his blood, based on DNA profile results, was found on the wall, the carpet, and on the concrete below the carpet. These details are discussed below, and a large volume of blood appears to have been in that area. For the purposes of comparison between the images, it appears that although the sheet may or may not be the same, the blankets are different, and the pillowcase, if not the whole pillow, is different. I submit that a logical explanation for the missing bedding is that they likely were saturated in blood after Gannon's murder and were removed by Letecia to clean up the murder scene. Furthermore, investigators were unable to locate the bedding in Stauch residence during any of the approximate 5 searches of the residence. So the first time I read this, in my head, that really played a weird place. I mean, it really played a weird it really played weird for me. So not only do we know at this point that the boy is deceased, we know that he's dead, but in my mind, I'm thinking as a person, I don't like cleaning blood off of my hands, off of my clothes, off of things that I have after, something has happened small, like I've cut my arm, or, the son has cut his knee, or, whatever little thing that's happened in between the years. And the large amount of blood that would have to have been on all of these materials, the sheet, the blanket, the pillowcase, if not the whole pillow, all the way through the mattress, into the carpet, and into the concrete below. That wreaks havoc on my mind. Letecia's trying to clean this up. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I don't even like cleaning up blood out of after a Band-Aid. Like the sheer volume of blood is really, it's not a shock value. I'm not trying for shock value. I'm just thinking to myself, feasibly, how do you even attempt to clean that up? Yeah, she's still going to expect to lie her way out of this, which is why that's why she wanted to get the cell phone evidence tossed. Another photo was recovered from Letecia's cell phone that shows his bed was not pushed directly against the wall by the head of the bed. This photo articulates the ability for blood to get onto the walls and floor in the corner of the bedroom. Mr. Stauch stated the positioning of the bed was unusual, and the bed is usually pushed against the wall. I'm just glad that these pictures are kind of blurry. This is a photo from the morning of January 27th. Particular attention to top left of bed, which is in this area. Yeah. Yeah, it would be so much. Yeah. Okay, so this next section is called The Need to Rent a 2019 Kia Rio. Mr. Stauch spent the night in Denver on January 25th, 2022, and flew out of Denver International Airport on January 26th. Investigators were able to corroborate that he traveled to Dallas, Texas, and ultimately to Oklahoma based on his flight records. On the morning of January 28th, Letecia rented a 2019 Kia Rio from Avis Rent-A-Car in Colorado Springs. She rented a car to pick him up from the airport. Letecia picked Mr. Stauch up at the Colorado Springs airport at or about 8:50 in the morning on January 28th, shortly after Letecia rented the vehicle. Letecia and Mr. Stauch drove back to their residence from the airport in the rented Kia. The timing of the rental of the Kia is suspicious, and combined with forensic evidence later obtained from the Tiguan and discussed below, tends to place additional importance on why Letecia felt compelled to rent a vehicle that morning. Investigators located no evidence that the Tiguan was not mechanically functioning or noted any reason why it could not have been physically driven. In fact, the Tiguan remained parked in the Colorado Springs Airport short-term parking lot until approximately 1900 hours on January 28th. Letecia provided statements to her husband, Albert, that she was concerned about putting mileage on her Tiguan lease, which justified the vehicle rental. It is noted, however, that during the time of the Kia rental, Letecia only put about 71 miles on the vehicle. During the time period Letecia had the Kia, she would not provide the location of the Tiguan, and Mr. Stauch never saw the Tiguan. For example, she told Mr. Stauch that the Tiguan was near French Elementary School. I remember how much I hated this word now. His Nightbot being funny. If you guys haven't, if you would, please take a minute. Just hit that like button. If you would, I would really appreciate it. If you're in the vertical live, if you double click the screen, it'll leave a like. Then you can come on over to the horizontal where everybody's chatting if you'd like to do that. You think Gannon's room was worse than the room they found Kaylee and Maddie in? Bellis, when I have seizures, I usually bite my tongue. Oh, Southern, my goodness. Dandy, even if he got bloody noses, it's not aligned with his murder. Absolutely not. Yeah, not even not even a quarter of a comparison. I mean, really, my house would look like a crime scene. Yeah, rest in peace, young man. Thank you for the blue hearts in the chat. Nightbot's got some sciatica going. The timing, oh, yes. Letecia provided statements to her husband. We read about that. She didn't want to tell anybody where the car was and said it was parked at the elementary school. Didn't want to put miles on it. Blah, blah. Between investigators and Mr. Stauch, a limited search for the Tiguan was conducted and produced negative results. Investigators later learned she left the vehicle in the short-term parking lot of the Colorado Springs Airport, but removed the vehicle at or about January 28th at 1900 hours. The Kia Rio was returned on the morning of January 29th, 2020. I submit Letecia could not pick her husband up in the Volkswagen Tiguan because it likely would have revealed evidence of Gannon's murder, including blood or the actual remains of Gannon himself. That alludes to the fact that they think that Gannon was in that car the entire time that it was at the airport. You really like the judge and the prosecutor. It makes me sad they allowed this mess up. Well, I think until she threw him under the bridge in Florida, right? Southern? Right? Nobody likes you, Nightbot. Rude. CSP Tillman, nice to see you. You're in the vertical. If you want to come on over to the horizontal, you're welcome to do so. Thank you very much, Southern, for that. Finding Gannon was absolutely unreal. I'm so glad he was found. Yeah, the way he was found was just divine intervention, right? Too bad something didn't happen before that. to intervene. Okay, the Kia Rio. Let's keep on going. We're on page 9 of 32. We're not going to get through all of this and the 54 pages of the court appeals, just so you know. We're not going to get through all of that today. We may go, if everything is copacetic for me in the morning and I have Daybell paste done, then I may come back live in the morning and see if we can't get through some more of this. It's big, and they do the whole background here, but it doesn't go through the entire arrest affidavit. So, and your shirt is ugly, Nightbot. She dumped him once, went back and got him, left him in the car at the airport, then packed him in a moving van, drive to Florida. I'd say all maybe a week. Was it a week? It's the Daybell paste. So, but before we'll go through the rest of the affidavit, we're going to go through all of that. But for anybody waiting to hear about the reason that this happened, basically the reversal and why the court, and then we're going to go over this in the second live, but why the court ordered a new trial. Basically, the juror, who we will call MB, disclosed that his son-in-law worked as a deputy district attorney in the same office as the elected district attorney that was prosecuting the case. Okay. Hey, Dina, nice to see you. Defense counsel challenged him for cause. So the trial court declined to remove him. He ultimately served and deliberated. The appellate court held that because the jury was related with the third degree to an attorney in the prosecuting office. The juror was impliedly biased as a matter of law. Not that he was biased, but as a matter of law, he was biased. This was not the court saying we think he was secretly unfair in the heart of the situation, right? But this was the court saying the law treats the relationship itself as a disqualifier. It's implied bias. That's a full stop. It's a full stop. The harmless error would... Hi, good to see you too. The harmless error begs the question, would this mistake likely have changed the outcome of the trial? Right? That's the harmless error part. Let me go over here. The harmless error part. The structural error part says the process itself is broken. It's too broken to trust the outcome. Oh, yeah, they knew. They knew. They knew. And like I said, people are angry because emotionally this feels like it's a procedural, like, escape hatch for this child's murder case. That's why people are mad. And I get that. But the court's answer is really simple. Fairness rules are not optional just because the allegations are bad. They matter most when the allegations are bad, because this is when the temptation to cut corner gets, if you cut the corners, the temptation to cut the corners is the strongest when the shit is real bad. Does that make sense? Judge Bernard agreed the trial court erred on the challenge for cause, but he dissented on the waiver. There was a judge, there were 3 judges, 2 of them agreed, 1 of them dissented. His argument was that the defense had 16 preemptory strikes. They used 7 to remove other challenged jurors and chose not to strike this juror. So he would treat that as a waiver. He argued that there are major institutional costs to allowing retrials where a defendant could have cured the problem in that moment. It's sad. It's sad. The court also upheld the phone warrant challenge, just so you know. It said that the warrant read with the affidavit, which we're reading now, was sufficiently particular because it identified the victim, the criminal activity, and the 40-hour period after Gannon disappeared. That means the appellate court did not take the state's digital evidence. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. So this opinion gave the defense a new jury, not clean evidence slate. You know what I'm saying? They have a new jury, but they don't have a right to full on clean evidence. And we'll go over those same notes again this next live, but yeah. The retrial is not about rebuilding from like the ashes. It's actually just about representing a case with an uncontaminated jury. It's despicable. It's sad. But the core narrative that's in the arrest affidavit that we're reading is the same. The appellate's opinion acknowledgement that the original prosecution presented its evidence of killing, the suitcase transport, Florida disposal, preserved phone evidence, the pathway to which the warrant was issued, is going to survive in this next review. So we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. The state is just this is like they went through the rehearsal and like this is the benefit dinner. It sucks. It sucks. We know what they landed before, right? And that being said, so does the prosecution. So does the defendant. We know what got attacked on the original appeal. We know what categories of evidence were shown and what can be reshown. We also know what's on the phones, the material that's on the phones, and all of that is going to get put back in there. But that gives prosecutors a clear lane. It's not an easier one, but it's clear, right? They get to stand in front of a new jury and say from the jump, this case has already had a fatal fairness problem once. Even though the argument is procedural, it changes the atmosphere. It just gives them another chance to refine how they frame stuff. This sucks, man. It just sucks. Letecia planning to escape as we speak. That's fucking hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, it's really bad. Hannah says, I feel bad for the family and all the witnesses that have to relive it again. Yeah, absolutely. There was recently a 48-hour episode about a guy who had 3 trials due to appeals every time he was found guilty. Thank goodness. If you're guilty, you're guilty. The evidence is going to be there, right? But we always say that. But then, of course, we wouldn't have an innocence project, right, if everybody was guilty and the justice system was spot on. The majority did not even reach the evidence, like about the ex-husband's testimony and the dissent. Anyway, we'll go over that. I say she's cray-cray. She's cray-cray. You guys are funny. Letecia. Fleetecia, Cootecia, Letecia. You guys are funny. Investigators applied for and were granted by this court a search warrant for the 2019 Kia Rio rented by Letecia Stauch. This vehicle was located at the rental car company at the Colorado Springs airport and had not been rented to another customer in between the time Letecia dropped the vehicle off and when the investigators seized it. That was lucky. Investigators did take a swab from a stain that was confirmed to be blood in the trunk of the Kia Rio and submitted it to the Metro Crime Laboratory for analysis. A DNA profile was developed and determined it was a mixture of 2 contributors, one of which was male, and the major male profile did not match Gannon Stauch's DNA. Tecia. She ate her cooties during the trial. Why do you got to bring up that shit? Ugh. I submit that because the Kia Rio is a rental car, it has likely been utilized by a large number of people, and the blood in the trunk may or may not be related to the investigation. And investigators have not been able to determine the likely age. They have not been able to determine the likely age of that blood and have not matched it to any known DNA profiles associated with this case. Humor in the chaos. Yep, you're right. Circle, circle, dot, dot. Rubber's got her cootie shot. Thank you, Cindy. This is very sweet. Letecia, Dr. T, Cutecia, Fletecia, Lickum, Lotecia, gross, orange. Take your pick. She put tissue in under her garments for some strange reason. Yeah, because she's a freak. A freak. Investigators noted the Kia had a significant amount of mud underneath the vehicle, but this did not provide any successful investigative leads in looking for Gannon's remains. Investigators collected the air filter of the vehicle and attempted to identify particles that might be useful to identify where the vehicle might have been. Investigators were unable to recover any GPS data or location history for the Kia Rio. You think? The Volkswagen, Letecia's Volkswagen T1 is significant. Okay, this is where we start talking about her Volkswagen. That's gross, Hannah. You're putting shit in my head. The Volkswagen T1 is important to investigators because they believe the T1 was used to transport the remains of Gannon from the Stauch residence to a location where Gannon's body was dumped. The definitive locations of the T1 are unknown to investigators during the time period of approximately 1902 on January 28th to approximately 1200 hours on January 29th. Investigators believe Letecia dumped Gannon's remains on the evening of January 28th and utilized the T1 to do so. The T1 was seized from Letecia on January 29th, 2020. I wouldn't blame you, girl. That's still gross. Yes, Hannah is very factual. Letecia had a rescheduled interview with investigators on January 29th at the EPSO, located in downtown Colorado Springs, Colorado. When she arrived at or about 1200 hours, she was driving the Volkswagen T1. Investigators noted that the vehicle was wet and appeared to have been recently cleaned. I submit that Letecia had to clean the vehicle because there was likely visible blood on the rear end, based on the below luminol reactions. Indeed, video footage was recovered that shows a partial view of a car wash located at East Platte Avenue, Bonfoy Avenue in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This video captured a portion of a black SUV consistent with the VW at or about 11:30 on January 29th at the car wash. The time and location are consistent with raw data obtained from the T1's computer system, described in more detail below, beginning in paragraph 152. Investigators applied for and were granted a search warrant for the T1, which was seized from Letecia at her interview and towed to the evidence facility on or about February 1st, 2020. The FBI Evidence Response Team, or ERT, conducted a search of the Volkswagen T1. In summary, the forensic portion of the search revealed that possible traces of blood on the rear of the vehicle, a rear passenger seat, front passenger seat, and an area near the glove box, based on luminol forensic latent blood stain reagent tests. Swabs from the trunk area were sent to the Metro Crime Laboratory for further analysis. Those results revealed that a DNA profile could not be developed and that the swab from the trunk was negative for the presumptive presence of blood. No, they haven't said. They haven't said yet. Okay, guys, we're on page 9 of 32. Hannah, remember that. We're on page 9 of 32. Can you remember that for me? I know you will, because you're the most amazing thing. I know you're going to be writing this down somewhere. Also, remind me, Hannah, that I want to find Melissa Jade's clip about the role about her rolling into the door. Okay, my true crime guardians, it's going to be a wrap for the first part of the deep dive into Letecia Stauch's reversal. We've covered a lot of ground tonight. Not enough, but from some of the technicalities of the structural error that we'll be covering. Hopefully it'll be the live 2 or live 3. But this definitely is a heavy reality. We're going to have a redo. We're going to have a trial redo. Unless something happens. The Colorado Court of Appeals so far has officially vacated the murder convictions because of a biased juror whose son-in-law worked for the prosecution who deliberated on the verdict. It was not a harmless mistake, although you can name it as such. The laws are cut and dry. We analyzed a whole bunch of stuff in the regular arrest, the original arrest affidavit. So, basically what we're looking for now is justice for Gannon. It's being delayed again because it's going to be remanded back to the El Paso County again for another trial again. We're just going to have to see how it goes. I hope it's televised too. I know we'll take time in between. We're going to have a birthday bash tomorrow. We're going to listen to music. I want to hear from you guys. I want you to come up. I want you to hang out. I want to meet everybody. Yeah, blue hearts in the chat for Gannon. Rest in peace, sweet boy. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Let me go over this again because this is what we do. Just want to make sure. Hannah, member for 12 months. Thank you so much. Abella's gifted 20 True Crime Guardian memberships, and with all of the new subs, I am so grateful. I hope some of the new people got that. Cara also gifted 10 True Crime Guardian memberships. Southern Cats came through with a $9.99 super sticker. Kara again gifted another 5 True Crime Guardian memberships. Member for 1 month. Glitter is forever. True love and kisses to Indy from Indy. There was a $1.99 super sticker. And Hey Jude, who is a brand new sub, sent us a $2 super sticker. So I am so grateful for that. Thank you very much. I'm going to go out on our song per usual. And like I said, keep in mind tonight, I will either do a pre-record tonight or it'll be out in the morning for Daybell Paste. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the birthday bash. I can't wait. In the meantime, have a pizza. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, mods, especially for being here. I really, really appreciate you.
We found the flame in the silence when the world forgot our names. Whispers turned to promise. In the dark we stayed the same. Ashes carried stories, falling stars and sleepless nights. Every scar became our glory, every shadow fed the light. We are the ones who guard the fire, through the smoke and through the fight, bound by truth, by heart, by wire. We keep the echoes burning bright. No crown, no fame, no higher name, just sparks that cut the endless night. We are the guardians of firelight. Broken glass and faded letters. Truth is heavy but it sings. In the quiet we are tethered by the warmth that justice brings. We don't bow to false horizons. We don't fade when others hide. We are born from fallen icons. We are flames that never die.
If the light should fade away, we'll breathe it back, we'll make it stay. Every tear's a spark in gray. We guard the light, we guard the flame. We are the ones who guard the fire, through the smoke and through the fight, bound by truth, by heart, by wire. We keep the echoes burning bright. No crown, no fame, no higher name, just sparks that cut the endless night. We are the guardians of firelight.